Now, this is one of those videos you will probably want to come back to every once in a while, especially when you feel down, stuck, or powerless in your life, because over the next 10 minutes or so, I'm going to show you scientific proof that your mind and your consciousness literally shapes your reality. So if your life feels repetitive, mundane, like you're stuck enduring things you don't enjoy day after day, and you want to manifest a better lifestyle for yourself, but you have no idea how to actually make that happen, this is going to give you hope. And I say that because the core ideas in this video come from a book I used to listen to back when I had a 9-to-5 job. Now, just for context, it was a boring retail gig deep inside a massive shopping mall in London. It was just after lockdown, so we were supposed to serve customers at a distance, yet the place was fully packed every single time. Grumpy people everywhere, no natural light, just these harsh fluorescent tubes beating down on us day after day. And it was draining, mentally, energetically, physically, in every possible way. So I was really craving something that would lift me up and just give me some perspective. And that's when I found this book called Real Magic by Dean Radin. And the moment I started listening, it became my secret power. I couldn't wait to get to my hour-long break just so I could eat my lunch, stare out the window, and just observe, just listen to the author's words. Now, just so you know where all this is coming from, Dean Radin isn't some random guy writing woo-woo books. He's a respected scientist who spent decades studying consciousness and its effects on the physical world. He's worked with top universities, tech companies, and even defense programs. So, yeah, he knows what he's doing. And real magic is his term for what the data now confirms, that consciousness plays a measurable role in shaping reality. So let me walk you through 3 studies that he shares that really blew my mind. These aren't theories. These are real-world experiments that show your mind doesn't just react to reality, it actually helps create it. Let's start with a classic physics experiment that's been around for over 100 years. It's called the double-slit experiment, and it basically shows how light and particles behave differently when they are being observed. But here's where it gets interesting. Dean and his team wanted to test whether focused intention could influence the outcome of this experiment. So they brought in people who had years of experience with meditation, people who knew how to focus deeply, and they asked them to mentally concentrate on the experiment, trying to collapse the wave function. Now, I know that sounds complex, so here's the simple version. When no one was watching, the particles acted like waves, spread out, uncertain. But when someone was observing with focused intention, the particles behaved differently. They became more structured, more predictable. In short, just by focusing their mind on the machine, people managed to change the outcome of a quantum physics experiment. Didn't matter how many times they tried, it kept happening. Which proves that consciousness isn't just something that witnesses life. It's something that interacts with life on a measurable level. So the next time you're walking around feeling like nothing you do matters, or that you're just stuck in some meaningless routine, think about this. Your attention alone has the power to shift how energy behaves in the physical world. This isn't theory. It's what the data keeps showing. The next experiment might sound a little weird at first, but stay with me because it's actually insane. Dean talks about something called random number generators. Little machines that spit out random binary code, just like digital coin flips. Heads or tails, ones and zeros. Now, these machines were running all over the world 24/7. Totally isolated, no human interference, just doing their thing. But here's where it gets wild. During major emotional events like 9/11, Princess Diana's death, or even New Year's Eve celebrations, those machines started acting not so random. Instead of an even, predictable pattern, they started producing patterns as if the chaos had suddenly become coherent. Why? Because millions of people all around the world were emotionally focused on the same events. And that emotional coherence, whether that was grief, unity, or joy, seemed to cause a measurable shift in physical reality. That's collective consciousness in action. So think about that. If large groups of people feeling the same emotion can physically influence machines on the other side of the world, what do you think happens when you focus your energy? What if your thoughts, your emotions, your vision for your life are already shaping more than you realize? It's not about believing in yourself. It's about realizing what's already inside, and how few people ever do. Now, this last one was the least and the most surprising to me at the same time, because years ago, I did a very similar experiment myself. But basically, researchers had people bless food and water, not in a religious way, but simply by holding it and intentionally sending good thoughts into it. Gratitude, love, healing, that sort of thing. Then they tested that food and water in biological experiments. And sure enough, the blessed samples came out on top. In one study, water that had been charged with positive intention caused enzymes to react differently compared to regular water. In another experiment, seeds that were watered with blessed water grew faster and healthier. Let me say that again. Your thoughts can literally imprint physical objects, and those objects can behave differently as a result. Again, this isn't New Age nonsense. These are peer-reviewed studies. And the only variable was the person's intention. So when you're eating your lunch in a rush, thinking about how stressed you are or how much you hate your job, that energy is going somewhere. Into your food, into your body, into your day. So you might want to flip that around and imagine what would happen if you started putting conscious intention behind your actions. If you started speaking over your life the way those researchers spoke over a bottle of water. You don't need to be perfect with this. You just need to be aware. So let's recap. 3 experiments, all pointing to the same thing. Your mind isn't just something that helps you get through the day. It's a creative force. One that interacts with the world in ways science is only just starting to understand. And when you use it the wrong way, when you focus on what you don't want, or when you let fear or doubt run the show, you're not just delaying progress. You're literally creating more of what you don't want. But when you choose to direct your focus, when you hold a clear intention, when you start creating from the end result instead of reacting to your current reality, that's when everything changes. So if you've ever had that gut feeling that your mind is more powerful than you've been told, if you've had moments where you knew deep down you were meant for more, then this isn't a coincidence. This is your sign. You were born with the power to create your life, but no one gave you the manual. Inside my free Skool group, I'll show you how to finally unlock it. Not with more fluff or empty mindset tricks, but by teaching you how to work with your consciousness in a way that actually produces results. In your finances, in your business, your health, your relationships, all of it. You will learn how to shift your structure, recode your resistance, and create from the version of you who already has what you want. And once you experience that shift, you will never look at life the same way again. Click the link below, join the group, and let's wake up the part of you that already knows how powerful you really are. I'll see you inside.